Good night. So I'm starting with a little bit of music first, but I give patients a chance to come on in, but I will be getting right to it. After I introduce myself, I am Pastor Marina, your branding queen, your brand strategist, and your Squarespace website designer. I hope this is not too loud. Alright, so as usual, we have housekeeping. Oh, just one more. Right, so yeah, I do brand strategy, visual brand designing, and I help businesses have a major edge in increasingly competitive markets. And the house rules, as usual, is to react, give reactions, whether that is thumbs up, hearts, share this live, invite someone on, tag somebody below. If you are catching the replay, I'm talking to you as well. Oh, it's still okay. But were you able to hear me, Abby? I'm so sorry I started off so loud. Lee. Where are the comments going? Right. It is a major responsibility. So tonight we are talking about Facebook groups versus Facebook pages. And the truth of the matter is one size does not fit all. So I'm going to delve into my thoughts on Facebook groups. It's something that I enjoy talking about. Good night, Abby. Let me turn this off. It's something that I enjoy talking about a lot because I'm passionate about this topic. I want people to be informed and not have the wrong idea about things. And Facebook is a space and a social media channel that people hang out a lot on, apart from Instagram and Twitter. A lot of people are on Facebook. So before I start, I'm just going to go into how it all started from way back when I could remember, when Facebook pages were a thing. So Facebook pages were like the profile page for businesses. It still is. But when it started, there was no Facebook ads. So organic reach was booming. People's businesses grew increasingly fast and got lots of engagement. They could post something and they'll get tons of inquiries. It was really an exciting time. Now it's completely different, especially since the introduction of Facebook ads. And then after they introduced Facebook ads, they started taking away the organic reach. And I think it was about a year ago I had done a blog post, but I think about a year to 2 years ago, the organic reach on Facebook pages was near 6%. With the recent changes on Facebook pages, where everybody went into a panic and it was all Facebook Armageddon, it's more or less like 0%. So to answer one of the long-awaited questions is, thanks, Abby. So one of the long-awaited questions is, do they even make sense anymore? They do serve a purpose, because just like you and I have our personal pages, that's our identity. We're going into branding here now, right? You have to have a representation of your business with a Facebook page. It's just only right. You cannot use your profile page. You should not use your profile page. You should have a special place for business. Now you might be wondering, what's the point of the Facebook page, at least when it comes to posting, if no one is really seeing your post? It's like talking to yourself, right? Now, actually I'll get to that, what I was going to say. The sole purpose, in my opinion, all of this is my opinion, and you take it, any information you get on the internet, with a grain of salt. You apply your common sense and your knowledge and see if it makes sense to you, right? For me, Facebook pages now serve the purpose of running ads. In terms of purpose, it seems to be all about running ads. Unless you are a big brand with a lot of activity is what is going to propel your visibility. Facebook is going to see that, hey, people really like what this page is about. They're going to push it even more. They love video. They love Facebook Live. This is why you have to get on video and do videos. But even better, Facebook Live, because Facebook Live is where people engage. When you post a video, people don't engage as much as a Facebook Live because you are live there. People like to be heard. They like to be seen. They want to engage with you. While they can't do that, it's not live. You're not live there. So persons tend to like watch a video and move on. So videos, if you're posting videos, I would suggest keeping them short. Try to keep them to 10 minutes. Under 3 minutes, I think, is ideal because we have such a short attention span nowadays. So Facebook Lives tend to go on long, and it works because it's live. It's an active conversation, right? So do videos. The more interaction your page gets, the more comments it gets, the more, I said reactions already. It's basically all about engagement this rounds, right? That is what is going to help you with organic reach. And then after you end your live and you review, because they tell you after the live, this post is performing 80% better than your other post, or 90%. Once you're seeing that, especially in the 90s, that is the Facebook Live you want to run an ad for or boost posts. I know social media experts will say stop boost posts. It's the lazy way of running ads. Hey, it works for me sometimes, and sometimes it's just easier for a lot of us, right? But yes, capitalize on the post that is already doing well. Don't just rock back and say, oh, well, it's performing, so I don't need to put ads into it. Actually put ads into it because it already has fire in its footsteps. So by you giving it an extra pair of brand new shoes, it's just going to make you run even faster. So that was how it used to be. This is how it is now. I'm going to move on now into groups. So groups are basically another way to see a community. So you might have seen in different places, join the community, join our community, join a mastermind. Some people might call their group a mastermind. And if it's a mastermind, usually it's only for a select group of people, or it's a paid group or something of that sort. Communities are extensions of the Facebook page. It's an extension of your brand. It's an extension of your business. It's where your audience gets to community, and interact with each other and bounce ideas off of each other. So, and grow and learn. So the thing is, it's literally a community. So you go to a community center. The person who founded the community center doesn't just show up there and do all the talking. People have to engage. And the best Facebook groups are the ones that are engaging. Yes, it's the responsibility of the business or the group owner or whoever is the head of this particular organization to keep it going, because you are the leader. You have to set the tone. After you set that tone, you should not feel drained to constantly have to show up. This is where the community members have to keep it going, and you have to set the tone to get them going, right? So for me, when I started my Facebook group, it was an experiment. I started it off of a suggestion of my current coach at the time, and it was fabulous. I enjoyed it while it lasted. But over time, with more groups popping up, and you know, things change on social media. That's the thing. Things change on social media. So you really have to keep up and pay attention to what's going on in the trends. So the answer today, especially like even on this live today, may not apply to 6 months down the road. Something may change again, right? Social media is just changing so rapidly. So you have to pay attention, right? There's no one concrete answer set in stone. So, but there are general rules of some that it's gonna always be consistent. So yeah, back to what I was saying. It was good, and you get to position yourself as an authority in what you do, and it's really good for positioning you as a personal brand or just as a brand in general. It lets people know, hey, she's knowledgeable, she knows what she's talking about, or he knows what he's talking about. It's a good way to give value to your audience, and the more you give value, the more your people are going to know you, get to know you, like and trust you. The other thing that I'm not going to touch on tonight is that they're essentially, what you're trying to do is always give value and let people get to know you. And there are different ways to do that. There's Facebook groups. There's also Instagram stories. There are different ways. And every time there's something new happening on social media, it's a great time to get excited and be like, ooh, how can I use this to my advantage? You know? So don't get overwhelmed. The strategy is the same, it's just the tools change, and you have to figure out, okay, how does this apply to my marketing strategy and what I'm trying to do here? How is this going to improve my bottom line, essentially? So I'm not going to go into that, but I just wanted to drop that tip that you can use this or these tips and see how you can apply it with your other ways to connect with your audience. Same thing applies to your email list. Any way you can, the medium doesn't matter. It's how you use it, and it's always about giving value and showing up for your audience. Now, the thing with groups is that it grows into its own monster over time. This is why from the get-go, you need to foster a community that is engaging and engaging with each other. Not just you talking to them and them talking to you, but they're talking to each other. You want them to show up, and you want them to post articles and be invested in the group, so to speak, right? Having daily prompts is a good way to get that sort of thing going. Now, to answer the question if a Facebook group is right for you, it all depends on your business. As I said in the start of this, one size does not fit all. Not everybody needs a Facebook group. They can all benefit from it, but they can only benefit from it if it's really working. If you are pouring into yourself and it feels too much like work, and it's just so much, it's taking and it's taking, but you don't feel like you're getting back anything, then it's probably something that you need to reevaluate and probably come back to at a later date, or it does not suit your business. At the end of the day, it's not just about your business, but it's about the common interest. So that is what it's all about. So like entrepreneurship groups, people not there really to learn about the coach. They're there to know about entrepreneurship and how to up level their business. So your content is going to be centered around that. Does your business have a specific area of interest that people are going to be engaged in? Are people interested in this area of interest? Don't look at the product and service that you're selling, but look at the area of interest. Why to have a group now then? Can you rephrase the question, Abby? So find that topic of interest and see, is this interesting enough to keep people engaged? Or you can use Facebook groups in another way that is becoming popular, is you use it as a pop-up group. Use it as part of a challenge. Use it as part of something that you're launching. It can be a pop-up group that serves a purpose for right now, and then you funnel those people over to your email list, right? Now, I do plan on talking about email lists tonight, but not too much. I'm going to touch on it. I'm actually going to end on it because this is very important to all of this social media talk tonight, right? So let me just pause. I need to take a sip. Now, pros and cons. Clear differences between Facebook pages and Facebook groups. Facebook page, you can run ads. At a point in time, the pro of a Facebook group page is the statistics. Statistics are very important. On my last Facebook Live, I spoke about knowing your data, knowing your numbers. Don't only follow the number of followers. there are other numbers that you want to look out for, right? Now Facebook groups have insights as well. So that doesn't really differentiate them. It's actually such a great tool. Like I said, social media is just really exciting. So a Facebook group, once done right, you get the opportunity to position yourself as a leader. There's more engagement on a Facebook page because of the mechanics of a group. You get notified. You get notifications when somebody comments. It's a lot more engaging that Facebook notifies you. There is some organic thing happening there that does not happen at all on Facebook groups. Engagement also gives you an opportunity to learn more about your customers. So you as not just the owner, but even the participant in groups or other groups, you can just rock back, sip some tea, and observe what are people talking about, what are hot topics. Is there a hot topic happening that applies to your industry or to what you serve? It gives you an opportunity to observe. That's the great thing about communities, because you're literally observing a community in a Facebook group. They call them groups, but they are communities. Right? So also, but keep in mind, while you're observing these people, make sure you're observing people who are your ideal clients. Always gather data from people who are your ideal clients. A mistake that we often make, and I've made it too, they tell you to ask your audience or ask people what they want. Ask them what they're struggling with. Ask them what they think about this new thing you're working for. You want their feedback. But you have to ask the right people. If this person is not your ideal client and they would never buy this new innovative product that you have going on, and they don't see it as a necessity in their life, then it makes no sense gathering data from them. So when you're observing and gathering data in Facebook groups, gather information from the people that you have singled out as your ideal clients. And the thing is, with social media, it will always circle back to gaining people's contact information. So back when I started my Facebook group, there was no strategy, right? And there were certain options that weren't available. And now you can just have a Facebook group for your mailing list, or you want to get them on your mailing list when you have that Facebook group. As much as possible, you want to get people on your mailing list because it's easy to lose people's contact or connection with people on social media. Their Facebook page could close down, your Facebook group could close down. Tens of thousands of members in large groups have gotten closed down. So you want to build your email list. People in your group who might have been an ideal client and was getting very close to becoming a customer, all of a sudden they disappear and you have no idea what happened to them. You just don't see them in the group anymore. You don't see them on social media. You don't know if their group got closed down or if they're just not on social media as much these days. So get them on your email list. Always get that contact. That is something that you control. I mean, on your email list, people can always unsubscribe, or that their email address can go dead and they no longer have it. Yes, that can happen, but there is a greater chance of losing contact because you don't own those contacts on social media. So it always circles back to your email list and getting people's contact and having that as your own. Right? Same thing with a website. Why you need it to have your website. Social media is a funnel. It's a tool to get them to you. So use it, but always remember what this goal is and then the strategy to get to that goal. There are signs you should pay attention to that you need to start your own group versus being in others. Right. So right now I'm struggling, right? For those of you who are aware and know that I closed my group, and they know why. I touched on it in a previous video, but I'm not going to go back talking about that. And I want to be a lot more intentional if I open back a group. Before I close the group, I wanted to delete and, do like some spring cleaning and revive the energy. And I started deleting people, and Facebook has it so tedious to delete people one by one. There wasn't like checkboxes, and because there were a lot of people who were added by others who had no interest in the topic of branding. They had no interest in the topic of website design. And I want to keep it as active as possible. There will always be members. Now keep this in mind, there will always be members in your group who aren't active, but they are paying attention. And they will contact you to work with you. Same thing on your business page. So engagement is great, but engagement always isn't a great indicator of how well you are doing, because things could be quiet. And on the back end, your phone is ringing off the hook and your email inbox is busy. Yeah, it basically became work. Gosh, why is my hair like this? So I do miss having a Facebook group, but I don't want it to turn into something where I feel like, I have to post today, I have to keep the group engaged. I felt like there was all this responsibility on me alone. And it's supposed to be fun and interactive. Now I have learned that I don't have to show up every day. It's a free group. I'm not entitled to come and show up. But I also understand that a group is an extension of your brand. So I want to open a group, but I will open a completely new group. I won't reopen the old group and just start afresh. But I am waiting to reach a particular, I'll say, milestone in order to open it. So basically, there's a strategy, and I think I've made up my mind that I will do a group, but I haven't 100% made a decision. But I do miss the group. Why? Because while I'm engaging with my audience in my email list, and I'm having so much fun with my email list, and if you're not on the list, I'm going to drop the link. Actually, I'm going to drop the link right now. Join the party, right? It's a tea party happening over there, and it's an extension of this fabulous segment that I do every Tuesday. Yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And this is why I can't answer the question outright. Should I do a Facebook group? Sometimes I think some people don't need a Facebook group because of the type of the industry that they are in. All they really need to do is send out proposals and keep being in their ideal client's face. So like corporate clients aren't really hanging out in Facebook groups. So if your ideal client are corporate clients, you need to be working on proposals. Yes, you have a Facebook page, show up and actually do videos. Videos is good because sometimes corporate clients may look you up and want to know more about you. But to say that you need a group and be nurturing a group, that's not necessary, because you might have a high ticket item or high end item. And the people in groups may not ever be able to afford that. And are you just saying hi, you're here, Jason? Or am I talking about you? Right, so join the party. I just dropped the link. So right, so actually I was leading to that point. Right, so back in the day when I started the Facebook group, they didn't have the option to ask questions. Now you can ask questions before you approve people into your Facebook group. And that could be the question, what's your email address? In order to get into this group, I need an email address. Do you plan to be engaging? Ask them certain pertinent questions. And of course, you have your basic guidelines, your rules of how people should operate in your group. Because at the end of the day, this is your space and you have to manage the space and not let it spiral out of control. So is it that groups don't make sense for corporate clients at all? It's not corporate clients, it's more corporate based businesses. You have to know where your ideal clients are hanging out. And this is why it always goes back to who is your ideal client. Now, your business might have two ideal clients. It might be two kinds. You might be serving corporate and you might be serving solopreneurs as well. So in that case, yes, have a Facebook group, but know the type of content and the service that you are marketing to that group. So if you know you're going to be doing a workshop for solopreneurs, you put content in that group that leads up to the topic of a workshop, but you're not going to sell some $500,000 campaign in a Facebook group, right? That's not going to make any sense. So you just have to know your audience. Everything always at the end of the day comes back to who your ideal client is and figuring out where they hang out, what they're interested in, the right services for them. And that's going to determine if you have a Facebook group and what are your topics that you're going to focus on in the Facebook group. I am now seeing some reactions now that I'm looking on the Facebook page. I see the person who stirred up this topic for me tonight is on. Do you have any questions? Did I answer your question? Let me know if this helps you. This is the perfect time to actually ask specifically what type of business you were asking this question for. Oh yeah, April, I know you would love this. All marketers would love what I'm saying tonight. Ideal clients, they call them ideal clients, they call them targets. I mean, if you have ever worked in an advertising industry or advertising agency, you would know. Anytime you are plotting a campaign, the first thing is, who is this marketed to? Who is the target audience? Who are they? What they look like? And online, people popularly say ideal client, but that's what it boils down to. Who is your target? That's why you might see an ad for a particular product and you notice they're only using people of a particular race. It's not because they're racial, but it's because that they know that people of this particular demographic buy this because this is part of their culture. So you're going to place a model who looks like this person because that makes sense. We are still talking about the Facebook group, but yes, I was very much tied to it. And because it was a closed group, because of the strategy, I wanted people to kind of like opt in. My videos that I was doing in the group, I was also too comfortable in the group and I needed to come out of the group and do more videos here that could be used for Facebook ads and to share, etc., etc. So that's another thing with Facebook groups. You have to remember to show up on both places. You have to figure out, do I want to go live in the group today? Do I want to go live on the Facebook page? And then you have Instagram live. So it's just all too much. So choose carefully and wisely when opening up your Facebook group and have a clear strategy. Know exactly what the format is, at least for the first 3 months. And okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up once a month or once a week. You don't have to show up every single day in the group on a Facebook Live. You don't have to show up every week. You can just do it once a month and give people an incentive to show up on that one day, because everyone is so pressed for time. Some people might appreciate that, hey, okay, she just comes on once a month and that's enough for me. Not sure if you hit on this, but considering that business pages are more geared towards building awareness while groups help foster relationships through communities, have you ever integrated the both? Yes, I have. I would encourage you to catch the replay because I talked all about my Facebook group and it was a great experience. It's just that I needed to close it down at the point in time, and I am looking at doing something else groups wise because I got sidetracked on speaking about email lists. So while I enjoy the email list and I get to be creative and all that good stuff, the only thing that email lists don't allow me to do is foster that community. The members on the list don't get to interact with each other. You can interact with me one-on-one. That's a great benefit. You can hit reply if something resonated with you, but there isn't that community. Now another tip I want to drop is, if you don't have a Facebook group and you're not interested in a Facebook group, but you have a pop-in email list. And when I say pop-in, I mean you have a fairly good open rate and people may reply ever so often. Have a call to action in the email, and call to action doesn't mean buy something. You can tell them, did you like this? Put the link to Instagram page and say, let me know what you think about X, Y, and Z on this post. So they can interact in your group, but they can interact on your posts. And that's a way to help your engagement on your Facebook page or your Instagram page. Yes, I needed time to elevate my business and work on elevate. So listen out for that word elevate. I'm working on something. Yeah, Jason, April knows what's up. It's coming, it's coming. But I do need to talk a little bit more about Elevate. I have been working on it like a little baby in the background for a while, and I do need to come out and talk about it. And right now I'm in the beta testing phase. So beta testers get to have access to this new product for 50% off. So if you're interested in being a beta tester for Elevate, I'm going to drop the link for Elevate. And you want to know all the details about it, head on over, you get 50% off. And it's in exchange for testimonials. It's in exchange for you giving your feedback, because that's the whole point of a beta, to get your feedback, how it worked, so I know how to tweak it and make it better. But when it's officially launched at the regular price, and you have to complete it. So you have to be committed to the program. So let me drop that bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly/elevate your brand in 2018. Alright, so do you have any more questions? I believe I touched on everything. But I will touch back again. Housekeeping, please, if this video, this live was helpful to you, like it, share it. I see I got thumbs up and you all reacted already. So share this video, tag a fellow entrepreneur. If somebody is considering opening a Facebook group, tag them here and let them get that information. So I have in my notes here, let me just read this out for you. Actually, I said it already. Groups may be better than pages, but an email list is still more valuable than Facebook, as Facebook can shut down your group at any time. A user can change profiles or delete an account at any time and you lose contact with that person. The same can happen with their email, but the risk is a little bit lower. Point is, Facebook is a channel, a medium that is ever changing, and things will change. Your email list is your contacts. And yeah, I dropped the link to the email list, and if you want to get a really cool PDF on going from basic to branded, when you join the mailing list, you get that freebie as well as your gift from me to you for joining this tea party here. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sharing in advance. If you did share already, share it now. I had some tea for you all tonight, but I can't remember what it was. I had 2 teas actually. But I think I remember. It had something to do with bartering. And I'll have to get back to you guys with that tea. Oh, I have my tea. Always. Always. You all are supposed to shop with the tea as well. I think I'm going to make it an exercise where I challenge you all to post a picture with your mug in the comments below. That would be super cool. Let me see. Let me see. I can't remember what was my tea, you know. But it was basically about... Oh, I remember. The tea was... Be mindful in entrepreneurship, where people will want to use and abuse you under the term barter. And I know I have said this before, but for those who haven't heard me say it before, you might have experience where people want to collaborate with you. You can make chocolate milk, Jason. Yes, any hot drink of your fancy. It doesn't have to literally be tea. Just need to have a mug with something warm, something cold. It doesn't matter. But we're going to sip. You can pretend it's tea because tea dishes. So people will come to you and want your services, and they may want to barter, etc., etc. But sometimes you're just so excited and so honored that this person wants to work with you, you don't realize until after. There was a time where I did pick up on it. And I've also observed that as soon as you say no to something, even if you didn't say it directly, because they didn't get what they want, they no longer engage with you. And to me, that is people who aren't really invested in you or your brand. They just want to see what they can get for you. So be mindful of that. I find it very funny that somebody wants to uplift you and they are big fans of your work, but they never engage with you, and they never engage with you much after, if at all, after they did not successfully get to collaborate with you. That is something you need to look out for in entrepreneurship. I find that very interesting. Some people, they get what they have to get and then they leave. And if they can't get anything from you, then they have nothing to do with you. I don't think that's how we should be operating, but there are people who operate like that, and I just want to share that observation with you guys. Yeah, and they never buy. I probably had this conversation with you already, April, but yes, that's the next thing. You probably could not facilitate them, but they never even inquire, like, okay, well, how much would it be? And they don't inquire. So that's how you know when some people are just looking for something free. And I mean, I'm all for uplifting everybody and let's collaborate and barter, because you know you have to get resourceful sometimes when you're now starting up. But there are those who just take it a little too far and they have no intention of really investing in your business. And how far are you going to get in your business if you don't invest? It's just all, for me, it's just also about being genuine. If you really want to collaborate, you really want to barter, you would either end up bartering, or you would either purchase. And if you really just can't purchase, you may interact, you may share a live, you may do something. Alright, so that's my tea for tonight. I'm not going to ramble. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night, guys. I don't think I will come on next week, Tuesday, because I know the Trini audience is not really going to be online next week, Tuesday. It's Carnival Tuesday here in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you're not on the email list, join, and I will keep you posted on when the next Tea Time Tuesday is, if there's one next week, and if it will just be the following week. You're welcome, Deshawn. Have a good night, guys. Bye.